I fought in a Jiu-Jitsu tournament yesterday, hence the cut on my lip. It was my third tournament this year, third tournament since I started Jiu-Jitsu. I took first place. It was the second straight time that I've taken first place. And it was the second straight time that I've had only one other person in my bracket. And he and I had to do a best of three. And it was the second straight time that I lost one match and won two. So basically I had to do three matches. And it was, I was going to say it was the toughest of the three tournaments that I've done. It probably was. The first tournament I didn't win either of my matches, so in a sense, maybe that was the toughest. But just from the level of competition, I think it's gotten better every time. I could tell right away when I looked at the guy that he was going to be tough because he's tall. And I could tell he was like, just a tall, strong person. And I was going to have a hard time with him. And I was nervous. I was, definitely intimidated. The first match I won on points. And I pretty much dominated the match, except that he, from an inferior position, he got my arm in an arm lock, and he almost submitted me. And he had it there for like a good minute and a half, and it was all I could do not to submit. Like, it took all of my willpower and mental focus not to submit. So that was definitely a victory mentally. So I won that match on points. It went the full 5 minutes. The second match was kind of weird. Even though I won the first match, I was like intimidated by the guy because I could tell he was strong. And the second match, I was a little out of it, and he submitted me. He submitted me very quickly with like a move. I still don't know exactly what he did, but he clearly wanted to get me into that position. He was good from kind of inferior or submissive positions, submitting. And so, yeah, it was like I kind of froze. Like, I got into this position where I would have been safe if I had moved, but then I stopped moving. It was like I wasn't sure what to do, or I was tired, or I didn't want to get tired, but I basically just stopped moving and I let him do what he wanted to do. Like, I made it easy for him, basically. And he put me in a chokehold. And then I gave up. I gave in. And so I was dejected, but I was also kind of relieved because I had been putting a lot of pressure on myself just to do well, because I had won the previous tournament. So I kind of had this expectation that I wanted and needed to win this tournament. And so I also knew that if I lost the second match, I would have to do a third match, and I didn't want that. So I was pretty tense. I definitely wasn't loose and relaxed, and so that didn't help me. And then once I lost that second match, it was almost like the crystal was broken and the tension was off. And then it's not that I didn't care as much. I wasn't afraid of losing anymore because I had already lost. I didn't have anything to be afraid of. And now it was just like, okay, I have to win this match to take first place. And I was definitely, I was like intimidated and relaxed at the same time. And I I probably thought I was going to lose the third match too. But I I was relaxed, so I had that going for me. And I saw that I had kind of done the same thing in each of the first two matches, and it had gotten me in trouble in both matches. In the second match, it got me in real trouble, and I lost. So I decided to try a different tactic and not be as aggressive and kind of hold back and let him come to me more. And that worked. And I just found myself being more relaxed in the last match, and I was able to. Basically, it started out where I was not in an inferior position, but he was on top of me, and I was able to reverse him, get on top of him, and basically be on top of him almost the entire match, and just kind of smother him and tire him out. And then right at the very end, with like 10 seconds left, I submitted him. So it was a huge and the thing about it was I was so excited that I submitted him that I jumped up and yelled. Like, it was involuntary. It just happened spontaneously. And then I was immediately embarrassed at how I had reacted, and I kind of helped him up, and I apologized, and he was very gracious. So it was, kind of funny, but it was definitely overall the best performance I've had of the 3 tournaments that I've done. I mean, I am very proud of myself for what I did. I've been proud of myself in every tournament, but this one, I'm extremely proud of myself, because it would have been really easy to give up mentally. And I kind of, I just really saw how tough I am, how good my jiu-jitsu is, based on how long I've been training. I'm a white belt, but just my skill was, better than his. My conditioning was better than his, and it all came through in that last match. He faded, and I stayed strong, and that's why I was able to beat him. That's why I was able to, get on top of him. That's why I was able to submit him at the very last seconds, when it would have been easy just to ride it out. But the fact that I kept going and looking for the submission and got it, it just really, it means a lot to me to see what I saw in myself in that whole performance. And I'm just very proud of that. Yeah. So, and that, he was definitely the toughest opponent I've had in the 3 tournaments that I've done. And to have beaten him, I feel really proud. And I can see that my jiu-jitsu has continued to get better. So it was just a very rewarding day.